John Wesley is commonly known as the founder of the Methodist Church. He was originally from London. He was born into a rather religious home. His father was also known as Reverend. His mother was really a stern and religious founder of the house as well. When he was 6 years old, he was once rescued from a building, a burning building. He was on the second story, and a neighbor came and saved him. And he says, since that time, I never doubted the existence of God and just His providence and His hand in my life. Well, whenever Wesley became older, he decided that he really felt called to missions, and so he went to Savannah, Georgia. And on the ship ride over there, he encountered just a really bad storm. The ship, it almost appeared as though the ship was going to go under, and he was scared. And yet there were these people on the ship who were just filled with enthusiasm, and they began to sing these songs, and John Wesley was just shocked. He was amazed by just their faith. And so he went up to them afterwards and said, "Were you not afraid?" And they said, "Surely we're not afraid of death." And so John Wesley writes in his journal, "This is the most glorious day." And it was kind of like a revamping of John Wesley's faith. So John Wesley then went to Georgia, where he didn't feel as though he was very successful. He was actually a part of the Great Awakening, which was happening all around in Germany and in the British Isles and in the American colonies. So there had just been a push for the Enlightenment movement, which was all about reason, and so John Wesley was just revamping the need for Christianity. And so it was as though that was going to be the most unrealistic place for Christian development, but yet it happened. And however, he stayed in Georgia for a while, and as time went on, he was just feeling really discouraged and like he wasn't doing anything there. So he moved back to England, became a professor at Oxford, where every professor would have to cycle through giving sermons, and so he began to give sermons a lot. He was actually the most frequent person to give sermons. Well, he began to give sermons such as free grace and Christian perfectionism and the almost Christian, and after a while, or saved by faith. And so after a time, they actually asked him to step down because he was too enthusiastic for Oxford. So after this, he decided to just go about preaching the gospel. He actually married a woman named Molly. They were married for about 2 years. She tried to travel with him, and it just didn't work. He was just a man who was committed to the mission of spreading the gospel. And so after this, they actually divorced, and he went about building the Methodist Church. He actually founded the Methodist Church, and upon this founding, he actually had a little controversy with his buddy Whitefield over predestination. Whitefield did believe in predestination. He was a big fan of Calvin, and John Wesley just thought this was arbitrary, and he did not like the idea that there were elect, and so he created a sermon totally refuting Calvinism. And I actually have his sermon book here, and I just want to read. It talks about saved by faith, and free grace, where it says, "It does not depend on any power or merit of man, no, not in any degree, neither in whole nor in part. It does not in any wise depend either on good works or righteousness of the receiver, not on anything he has done or anything he is." So this is just saying he doesn't understand Calvinism, because then how is God arbitrary? So he goes on later, and this is in Free Grace, says, "You do not think God decrees any man to be damned, nor hardens irresistibly fits him for damnation." And so he's saying, how can you believe in this, that God damns people to hell? So those are just some of the popular works that he is known for, along with the founding of the Methodist Church. He's actually known to be an administrative genius. He's really equipped with organization. And then Wesley continued to preach until March 2nd, 1791, when he passed away, and he was carried on. He left behind 79,000 followers in England and 40,000 in North America. So Wesley definitely made a huge impact in the Great Awakening.